it was near closing time, I was reading the evening papers. She was quite a knocker, all right. Slender, stylish, with doe brown eyes and quite a figure. She sent me on a wild goose chase looking for her brother Harry. He was last seen at their late parents' hunting lodge in the Sierras. I decided to check the place out. There was a shotgun above the fireplace, but it wasn't fired in ages. I went upstairs and in a paper wastebasket I found some papers. For me it was all gobbledygook, some kind of formulas. The cabin looked abandoned for a while, and I decided to check out the bar I had passed on my way up here. Inside there were some local characters. The typical backwoods idiots you would expect in a place like that. I bought around and asked everyone if they knew Harry and his whereabouts. Well, most knew him slightly, but by good luck I also met Andy, who was a bit of a hunter himself. He had noticed a black Packard sedan driving up to Harry's hideout a week ago. He even remembered the license plate number, 7M61. Short and sweet. Back in my office I used my LAPD contacts to check out the owner of this mysterious black Packard sedan. The car was registered to a Mr. William Peterson. I decided to pay Mr. Peterson a visit, but on my way I dropped by my friend Louise, a forensic chemist. I handed her the notes with the formulas I had found at Harry's cabin. I was astonished that Mr. Peterson saw me right away. He seemed to be a rather important man. He was the owner of a rather big toy factory. He looked like Santa Claus with his beard shaven off. He told me that he wanted to hire Harry so he could help him to develop some new plastics for his toy line. True, Harry was a chemist, but something smelled fishy, if not outright rotten, in this story. I decided to follow my hunch and to take a deeper look at this Peterson business. Call me a cynic if you want, but I've stopped believing in Santa Claus a long while ago. I found out where Peterson had his warehouse. It was in a rather shady part of town. Anyhow, I managed to slip in unnoticed and took some samples of the merchandise. I must have been keen to get home after a long day's work, because I didn't notice this figure sneaking up on me. Next thing, I woke up in a hospital bed with a sore head that didn't come from the usual bout of whiskey. The nurse told me I had a solid concussion. Later that day, I got a visitor from heaven. Angel showed up. Hard to tell whom she was more concerned about, Harry or me. I told her that my investigation made rapid progress. How is that? She asked. Someone is getting nervous. That's always a sign that I'm on the right track. The doctor wanted to keep me a week for observation, but I checked myself out anyway. No use in letting a hot trail get cold. First, I went to Louise. I wanted to know what those formulas were about. Secondly, I had a hunch that the sample I took from the warehouse wasn't as child-friendly as it looked on the first glance. The formulas turned out to be combinations of nitrate, which is used in artificial fertilizers. The sample turned out to be highly flammable. A huge understatement if you ask me. Not the stuff I would let my kids play with. I was pretty much in the dark, but Louise enlightened me. Nitrate could be used for both purposes. To grow plentiful crops to nourish the starving, or to build highly effective bombs and to blow everyone to smithereens. But now I had more questions than answers. Where did Harry fit into this picture? Was he an altruistic philanthropist or a terrifying terrorist? And what about Santa Claus? I had to find out who was getting all those toys. My next stop was the Harbor Administration. The export papers showed that those toys were shipped to Buenos Aires. After some more digging, I found out that the cargo was shipped from there to Bremen, Germany. Suddenly all puzzle pieces fell into place, and I had enough information to go to the police. First, I talked with my client, my angel Natalie. She agreed with me that we should let the law handle the case from now on. The officers found Harry in a dung basement. After all persuasion failed, Peterson had him tortured to get the formulas out of him. So Natalie was pretty happy to see her brother still alive. And I was pretty happy that he turned out to be one of the good guys. Natalie invited me to a homemade meal. But that, guys, is another story.